Hello student, this is the fourth part of video for chapter number 4 from geography, and in last video we have covered the topic that is temperature. In this video we are going to cover the new topic that is air pressure. So temperature, in last video what we have learned that how it affects the weather and climate, the major role of temperature. In this, as we are going to start a new topic that is air pressure, see the first paragraph. You will be surprised to know that air above us presses us with a great force on our bodies. However, we don't even feel it. This is because the air presses us from all directions and our body exerts a counter pressure. So here the air pressure is not felt by us. Why? What is the reason? Because the air that presses us from all the direction of our body. So it is not felt by us usually. But if you want to feel that pressure, you can move to the open ground, stand opposite to the wind from where the wind is blowing. The strong wind will just collide with your body, and what will happen, that pressure would be felt, the air presses or pressing would be felt by your body in the open ground, because it is not having many obstacles like where we live, there is many buildings, trees, so it is having obstacles, but in open ground it could be directly felt by us. So the wind is blowing from the one direction, so you can feel the pressure, but generally the air is pressing us from all the sides. Simultaneously, we also exert counter pressure. As much the air is pressing us, we also presses back. See the second paragraph. Air pressure is defined as the pressure exerted by the weight of air on the earth's surface. As we go up the layer of atmosphere, the pressure falls rapidly. We have learned about the various layers of the atmosphere, starting from troposphere till exosphere. So there are 5 layers. As you move to the height, as you are moving to height, the pressure would decrease with the height. So you can find the pressure more in which layer? The first layer of the atmosphere compared to the exosphere. At the exosphere the pressure would be less. Now there is certain reason why it is getting less, that we will learn. The air pressure is highest at sea level and decreases with the height. Horizontally, the distribution of air pressure is influenced by the temperature of air at given place. In areas where the temperature is high, the air gets heated and rises. This creates a low pressure area. Low pressure is associated with cloudy skies and wet weather. In areas having lower temperature, the air is cold. It is therefore heavy air sinks and creates a high pressure area. High pressure is associated with clear and sunny sky. The air always moves from high pressure area to low pressure area. So that we will learn with the diagram. As you can see the second paragraph, air pressure is defined as the pressure exerted on the layer by the weight of the air on the earth's surface. So this is the earth's surface, you can see over here. Now the pressure which is exerted by the weight of the air, where? On the earth's surface. So from this we can define the air pressure, how much the pressure is exerted by the weight of the air on the earth's surface. So it could define the air pressure. And secondly, what we have learned, as we go up from the different layer of the earth, that is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. So at the bottom level, that is on the surface of the earth, that is troposphere, there would be high pressure, and as we move to the height, to the top of the layer of the atmosphere, we can find the low pressure area. This is about the layers of the earth. Now there are two kind of pressure. There is horizontal distribution of pressure, and secondly we are having vertical distribution of pressure. So first we will learn about the horizontally distribution of the pressure or air pressure. Now what is horizontally distribution of air pressure? Now whenever there is increase in temperature, now why there is increase in temperature? Because of sun. So whenever there is increase in temperature, what will happen? The air will get heated up. And what happened when the air is getting heated up? The air expands in volume, and what happened? It become lighter. Now due to the less weight, what will happen? It move to up, it rises up due to the less weight. As it become expand, and it expand in volume and become lighter, and as it become lighter in weight, the heated air will rises up, causing low pressure. So generally you can see over here, it is higher pressure. It is affected by the temperature. You can see sun's temperature. So whenever there is increase in temperature, the air heated up, then expands, and it moves to the upward direction, rising up as it become lighter in weight. So here it creates a low pressure area. What is this? The low pressure area. Now you understood, as it is influenced by temperature. You can see by temperature the air at given places, what happen? That become light in weight, and it gets heated up, and as well as it rises up. And what does create there? That is creating a low pressure area. So this kind of low pressure area would be having cloudy skies and wetty weather, because when it is rising up, what happens? The moisture accumulates as in cloud, because they are accumulating in cloud, forming a cloud, and generally this kind of area is having a wet weather. You can see over here. Secondly, as we seen that in height there is lower pressure area, but at the high altitude like mountain, you can see the same air gets cooled. As we already seen that is accumulating as clouds, this air will become cool and become heavier. So the moisture droplets is accumulating together, and as we have seen, this is cloudy sky and wetty weather. You can see over here. So it become heavy. From here it expand and become lighter and rises up. Here it is accumulating over here, creating a low pressure, and what happens? It become heavy. What happened? When it become heavy, it descends or sinks down. It comes down towards the earth surface. So when the lower pressure is becoming cool, as it get cool, what happens? It become heavy and it comes down. So at down, what will happen? What kind of pressure area it is? It is higher pressure area. So it is causing higher pressure. So you understood, this is a circulation form like water cycle or rock cycle. We have learned water cycle. The same way it is creating cycle, that is HP. From higher pressure area to it is moving to the lower pressure at the top. Then from lower pressure it become heavy and comes down again, and it become higher pressure. So this is the circulation form also, and always this is happening from higher pressure. The air always moves from higher pressure to the lower pressure area, and from lower it is moving to the higher pressure area. So this is the form of circulation, what it is forming. It is a cycle, one kind of cycle of atmosphere or pressure area. Now air pressure, how it could be, it can be measured. it can measured by an instrument that is called as barometer, that we have learnt in the last page. So horizontal distribution of pressure we have covered. Now second kind of distribution, that is vertical distribution of pressure. Air pressure decreases with height, as we learned that when they are moving in a layer, so as per the height, this is mountain also I am showing, and this is the layer of the earth, different layer of the earth, so don't confuse. So as per the layer of the earth it also decreases, and on the mountain also it decreases. Okay, because there is difference between two kinds of altitude, so I have shown both the thing. On the atmospheric layer also it decreases, the air pressure decreases, and at the higher altitude like mountain the air pressure decreases. The decreasing rate of the pressure with increasing height is variable, so it varies. As we go up, the atmosphere become thinner and thinner as we are moving to the mountainous region. The mountaineers, those who climb, those who are going for trekking, when they are climbing, so they are not able to breathe because the air is becoming very thinner and thinner. So most probably when they are moving towards the height or to the higher altitude, they are always carrying the oxygen cylinder, so they can easily breathe over there, and their oxygen level is also less and air also become thinner. And also these mountaineers are facing one problem, like when they are moving to the higher altitude, what happens, their nose gets bleed. Why this is happening? Because the air is thinner and pressure is not there, there is less, the air pressure is very less over there. So in first paragraph we learned that our body exert the counter pressure. So here our body at the higher altitude like mountain, our body creates a counter pressure, but what happens, there is no air pressure from the other side. Because of this generally the mountaineers are bleeding in the higher altitude of the mountain. So you can see over there the do we know portion, that also we have covered in the last video, that whenever they are moving, the astronauts when they are moving to the space, they are wearing the special suit as exosphere. You can see the last layer exosphere, so here the space starts. So why they are wearing the special suit? Because otherwise there is also low pressure area, the pressure from the air is very less. But what happens, our body creates a pressure, we are creating a pressure, because of that we can bleed. So as the mountaineer bleeding over here, here the low pressure compared to the mountainous region and in the space, here it would be very high, so our blood vessels could burst and the astronaut could bleed into death. So they have to wear the special suit on the space. Now you understood why they are wearing the special suit on the space, and as well as the low pressure area that is vary in the mountainous region and as well as in the different layer of the atmosphere, and it is becoming thin, the air become thinner and thinner, and also the pressure goes on decreasing. This is the reason the why higher pressure is found at sea level due to the dense atmosphere. Now higher pressure at the sea level, it is very dense. Here the air pressure is very dense because the moisture in the sea level is very high, and because of this what happened, you can find the higher pressure at the sea level because of the dense atmosphere. The lower areas or plains have high pressure, but on the on the mountain the pressure becomes low. So sea level also it is very high, and you can see plains, the wait a second, the plains like land, the air would be having higher pressure and it is affecting with the temperature, it is rising up. And in the mountainous region, what you will find at the higher altitude, the lower pressure. So here the circulation forms like this. I hope you have understood this air pressure in the different areas. Now the lower areas or the plains have high pressure, but on the mountainous the pressure becomes low, as we have read already. World pressure system. There are certain kind of pressure system in the world that is moving in one particular direction only. So there are main pressure belts, 4 main pressure belts. You can see in the next page also, as you are having in your textbook. I can show it in your textbook itself. See the diagram over here. So generally in both the side there are 4 main atmospheric pressure. Center at you can see that is equatorial low pressure, because as you know, this is most heated area. The sun rays directly falls on the center of the earth. So this is equatorial low pressure area. It is again known as doldrum. Secondly, we are having the subtropical high pressure belt. It is known as horse latitude. Nextly, we are having subpolar low pressure, and lastly we are having the high pressure area, the polar high pressure belt, you can see. So these are the 4 main layers, which are the equatorial low pressure belt. Next is subtropical high pressure belt or horse latitudes, and thirdly we are having subpolar low pressure belt, and fourthly we are having polar high pressure belt. So you can see the direction of this arrow also. They are always moving to this particular direction. They are having fixed direction to move. The air is always moving in the same direction in the world. This is the fixed pattern to which they are blowing, and that is very much necessary. Because of this you are receiving certain seasons and even the monsoon winds. They are known, this wind are known by different name that we are going to cover in the next topic as wind. You can see over here our next topic is wind. So the wind, the movement of air from high pressure areas to low pressure area is called as wind. At above paragraph we have learned that the air is always moving from higher pressure area to lower pressure area, and from lower to higher. So this is called as wind. You can see wind at work as it blows dry leaves down the pavement or uproots tree during a storm. So where there are normal winds, generally when it is blowing the leaves falls down, but when it is very strong, like storm, when the strongest wind are blowing, at that time they can even uproot the trees. Sometimes when the wind blows gently, you can even see it blowing away smoke or fine dust. At times wind can be so strong that it is difficult to walk against it. You must have experienced it is not easy to hold an umbrella on a windy day. So sometimes this is blowing gently, as I said, only the dry leaves can fall, and sometimes it become very strong, and you can see with the blowing of air it also carries the smoke of what? Dust. It is carrying the dust together, and even you can find walking difficult to walking against this strong wind. During the rainy season most probably it is experienced, as you are moving when with the rain this air is blowing very strongly, then you are not able to hold the umbrella, or even you to the direction, if you are walking to the direction from where the wind is blowing, you are not able to walk also. The same feeling as I said and mentioned above paragraph, in the open ground you have to stand opposite of the wind from where it is blowing. So in front of that you have to stand. So what happened, you can feel that, and you are not able to just move to the direction from where the wind is blowing. Now think of some other example when strong winds have created problem for you. Winds can be broadly divided into 3 types. There are permanent winds, seasonal winds and local winds. As I said that there are certain kind of patterns in the world, okay, to which that is blowing, that we are going to learn. So there are three kind of winds according to their movement. First is permanent, secondly we are having seasonal, and thirdly we are having local winds. So permanent winds, the trade wind westerlies and easterlies are the permanent wind. These blow constantly throughout the year in the particular direction. So these permanent winds are also known as trade winds also, and it is also called as westerly and easterly. So these winds constantly move to the one direction only throughout the year. Second, you are having seasonal wind. So these winds are changing their direction in different season. For example, monsoon in India. Because of this, we are receiving the monsoon. You have learned this in 6th standard. Monsoon winds. Then local winds. These blows only during a particular period of the day or year in a small areas. For example, land and sea breeze. Do you recall the hot and dry local winds of northern plains of India? It is called as Loo. During the summer season, most probably you have heard this word, that Loo. Loo means the hot air wind. In particular season it is received or experienced. This Loo, because of Loo many can just become sick. Actually it causes dehydration, as it is hotter. It is coming during the summer season and it is too hot. So this kind of local winds, that is during the particular period of day or a year or a season you can call, and in a small area it is blowing. So this is called as local winds. Here is a case study you can see over here. Cyclone Nature's fury. Odisha, located on the eastern sea coast of India, is prone to cyclone that originate in the Bay of Bengal on 17-18 October 1999. Cyclone hit 5 districts over state. Another super cyclone occurred on 29 October 1999 that devastated large portion of the state. The damage caused were mainly due to 3 factors, that is wind velocity, the wind was too strong, rain, second reason, and the tidal surge, because it is nearby coastal region, so it is also affected by the tidal surge. The winds of up to 260 km per hour lasted for over 36 hours. You just imagine, the wind was blowing at 260 km per hour, so it is covering the 260 km area per hour, and it blowed for 36 hours. This high velocity wind uprooted the trees. As I said, the wind could be even that much stronger that they can uproot the tree. So here the trees were uprooted and damaged the kacha houses generally, because the kacha houses could not stand against the strongest wind. Rooftops of several industrial sheds and other houses were also blown away. Power supply and telecom lines snapped completely, so this was completely stopped, power and as well as the telephonic service. Because of the strong wind, it lost the connectivity and even the wires were damaged. Now, however, even heavy rain occurred under the influence of cyclone for 3 days continuously. This was again the thing, with the wind they were also facing the rain, heavy rain. Constantly 3 days it was raining. These rains led to flooding also. So one side they are facing the strong wind, secondly the heavy rain. Because of the heavy rain continuously 3 days, because of that they face flooding also, and mainly in the rivers of Odisha. The cyclonic wind caused tidal waves that swept 20 km. So the wind caused what? Tidal surge. So tidal waves just entered to the region and it completely swept away 20 km of region. inland and brought massive destruction to the coastal area. So coastal areas nearby 20 kilometers of area was swept away because of the tidal surge. The 7 to 10 meter high tidal wave introduced suddenly and caused massive damage to the standing paddy crops. So what was the tidal wave's height? Up to 7 to 10 meter, and it suddenly came into the inlands, to the land area, and it causes the damage to the standing paddy crops as they were cultivating the paddy. So that was being completely damaged because of this high waves. The cyclone originated as depression in Gulf of Thailand. Now what was the reason because that caused cyclone? So it started because of the depression in the Gulf of Thailand near the East Polar Blair on 25th October 1999 and gradually moved in the northwestward direction. It intensified into supercyclone and it hit the area between Eresama and Balikuda of Odisha on 29 October at 10:30 am. So the strongest wind, the cyclonic wind moved to the direction of these areas of Odisha. The supercyclone swept the entire coast of Odisha, including the cities of Bhubaneswar and Cuttack and 28 coastal towns. So it was not only the Odisha, but many cities were also affected. About 13 million people were affected because of this cyclone. A large number of livestock were killed, means animals were killed. Standing crops of paddy, vegetables and fruits were heavily damaged due to the salinization. Now when the high tidal wind entered to 20 kilometers of area in Odisha, what happened? That salty water was entered to the land. So now what happened? Because of the salinization of tidal surge, large tract of agricultural land have turned into infertile. Now they are not able to cultivate anything on the salinization caused on the land because it become infertile. Large tracts of salt, teak and bamboo plantation have completely disappeared. The mangrove forest between Pradeep and Konark, they have also got vanished. So next the topic that moisture that we are going to complete in the next part of video. Till then stay tuned. Thank you. And up to here whatever topic we have completed, please the worksheet up to here. Thank you.